This JTV News Update is brought to you by Flow. Make it flow for everything mobile this Christmas. Since the passage of Hurricanes Irma and Maria, many of the recreational facilities and parks in the territory were also devastated, as many homes and businesses. But we have not been able to catch up with the representatives for the parks and trusts. So today we're going to talk with Mr. Stephen Payne and hear what the circumstances are around these facilities. Mr. Stephen Payne, it's a pleasure having this opportunity to speak with you. Since Hurricanes Irma and Maria, we have not really had the time to sit with you guys to hear what's going on with the trusts across the parks across the territory. Give me a quick overview as to how did our parks fare?
Well, Irma, after Irma's passage, when we did our assessment, all the 25 locations that we manage were devastated, some more than some. So as it relates to recreation, it's on 20% accessibility to most of the parks.
Wow, that means extensive. So what is being done at this stage to try to bring back as much as possible to some working level or accessible level?
Well, we figure that the easier ones, like the Ava Shirley grounds and Bogus Bay, that suffered damage, yes, but we worked with that. We opened back up as soon as possible for the Ava Shirley grounds, so the track athletes could get some normalcy there. The Bogus Bay location, that too is already accessible by the basketballers. The Capone's Bay field, that too is accessible. We are somewhat limited in the backboards and the rims for basketball, but at least the smaller children could use the fields to have some semblance of recreation. But we're up to almost 50% normalcy at the Aero Shirley grounds.
Okay. What's happening at Anegada, Heers Van Dyke, and Virgin Gorda?
Anegada, the basketball court is damaged. The backboards are missing. The tiles on the floor, they're missing. So there's no activity there on that basketball court. The field itself is still being used by the school. Virgin Gorda, we lost most of the facility there, the basketball court that is. And the field, we did some work on there with the help of the Football Association. So I must thank Mr. Clarkey and the Football Association of Virgin Gorda for bringing the field up to some level of use. The Jos Van Dyke location is still under, what should I say? We haven't done anything much in Jos Van Dyke as yet, to date. And this all ties into the fact that since we're a government statutory body, we're somewhat limited in how much work we can achieve given the financial status of our statutory body. So we're pretty much waiting on government to help source heavy equipment to lift the lights from off the field. So right now what we're doing is the remedial thing, which is cutting the grass to make sure it's aesthetically pleasing for persons who want to go in and still do some walking and some running on the fields.
Okay, so I bring you home to Tortola, one of the main facilities that we have, the multi-purpose sports complex in the heart of Road Town. We know this facility is being used as a shelter, and activities, I think, is zero here.
Yes. Not too many days after the passage of Hurricane Irma, the facility was identified as a shelter. It was not listed as a shelter in terms of the emergency shelters, right? But it was used because it was centrally located, and we didn't sustain significant damage in terms of the roof. We had a 70 by 40 breach in the roof, which allowed some water to come in. But the facility was in somewhat good shape that we could have accommodated the persons for the shelter. We're a couple of months removed from that date when they came in. So, like you said, there's no recreation activities currently done in the facility. Obviously, a number of sports were displaced. You have karate, you have badminton, table tennis, volleyball, basketball, the like. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of persons who play those disciplines want some sort of release to get back into normalcy. As of now, I can't tell you when that would happen, but we're hopeful that the residents of this facility will find some alternative location that we can get back to some normalcy in terms of recreation in the multipurpose sports complex.
This time of year, what are the major activities you usually have at the multipurpose sports complex?
Well, December you usually have basketball, have some sport basketball tournaments, and volleyball plays on a normal every Monday and Wednesdays usually. Without outside of the actual Christmas days. So those are the things. There weren't no leagues planned around December. It's primarily just persons trying to keep fit, you know, in the Christmas season and after. And it's going to be more so felt after the Christmas when persons eat their ham and all the niceties and they get pretty much out of shape. There's a rush to always get back in shape quick in January. So persons will be displaced in terms of sporting activities in this facility for a while.
Okay, and so, you know, you're hearing the measures out there. Some persons are saying that, yes, the place is being used as a shelter. Definitely the people who are here have absolutely no place, and it's a very good thing that we're doing for the people, providing some place for them to have to sleep in the nights. And then they're looking on the other side, thinking that persons use facilities like these to relieve themselves of stress, to stay out of trouble, because you've got a lot of youths that you usually bring in here to be trained to just play sports. How do we weigh and balance in something like this?
Well, this is just my personal opinion. I think that right now, with the displacement of the persons resident in the facility, that should be given priority. In relation to the persons not having access to the facility, this is just one facility of many. Obviously, you can't carry out the discipline of volleyball or basketball on other locations. However, you can still try to maintain some level of fitness. You know, even on the street, the area Shirley grounds, there are a number of facilities around the territory that are accessible. Just you can't have a league, something structured. But for right now, the onus is on making sure that persons have a shelter over their head. And I should add here that initially when we came to the facility and realized that it was damaged, but it was still a facility that could be used for shelter, we pretty much said yes in an instance that persons could come in. Initially there were, I think, about up to 65 persons who were resident here. Over the period of time, some persons found areas to go back to, etc. So for the public, that sporting public, I would say that give us some time, and even after the shelter has been closed, there's still a lot of work to be done on the inside. The court is damaged. We had some water damage, so the court was underwater, so the court has to be removed. You have to get a new playing surface, and there's a lot of internal work, wiring, lights, etc. that needs to be fixed. So it's going to take a while for the statutory bodies to receive the funding necessary to make sure that the locations are back to they were before or even surpassed.
And so we heard there from Mr. Stephen Payne that while the major facilities are not intact just yet and accessible, persons are encouraged to keep active, stay out of trouble by running in the streets, using whatever facilities that are available, like the A.O. Shirley Recreational Ground. With this JTV News Update, I'm Kathy Richards.
It's Christmas again, which means even more must-share memories. So why not do it with the twinkling new handset from Flow? Like the new ZTE A320 with 5-inch display for only $39. And light up your social feed all season long with extra double data on all 7-day combo plans on the always connected, always faster 4G LTE network. Extra big phones and extra double data. Make it flow for everything mobile this Christmas.